Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So today Anis and I will be interviewing Rahma about popular culture that we have chosen for our assignment, which is boarding school culture. Rahma, could you introduce a bit about yourself?
Hello, my name is Rahma Shazana. I am 15 years old and I go to fully residential boarding school.
So, fully residential boarding school is different from a regular school, as a residential school is an institution where the children live within premises while being given formal instruction. So, now we will ask you a few questions regarding the boarding school culture. So, our first question to you is that, according to Kennedy 2031, he said that there are many reasons to go to a boarding school, as like the academics, the athletics, and the extracurricular activities. There's just a few of the considerations. So, what encouraged you to go to a fully residential boarding school?
Uh, I was inspired by my brother at first since he was from a boarding school and I believe he was a successful product of the school itself. Initially, I wanted to follow his steps. Other than that, I know that in the academic aspect, boarding school is better than the local high school according to the results that the students produce. Therefore, I want to include myself as a student that will get excellent results too. Thus, a conducive learning environment in boarding school is really helpful. Moreover, I love that he always shares the how fun it is being in boarding school, which gives me the courage to try the experience.
So we'll move on to the second question. How do you feel before going to boarding school, and what are some of the preparation that you did mentally and physically before enrolling to boarding school?
I was very restless, but I was expecting something at the same time. I didn't know anything about the living conditions there, so I imagined all of the horrible things that could happen to me. And I was expecting new challenges, new people that I did not know at all, and how can I adapt myself in the new surroundings. As for mental preparation, I imagined every situation that I could get myself into and figured out how to resolve it. It can be very helpful to me one day. It could be a scenario where I wouldn't have any friends. The solution would be that I have to approach them nicely and talk to them. Apart from that, I knew respect is an important thing to live by while being in boarding school. So I highlight the way of living respectfully in all sincerity. Meanwhile, as for um, physically, I tried eating some things that I refused to eat before to make sure that I would not starve myself since the food served at school was decided according to a balanced diet. We could not just request to change the menu by ourselves. However, sometimes if the food was not that appetizing, and my friends mentioned that they do not want to eat that meal, it indirectly influenced me to not to eat at the dining hall. For example, the menu of fishes. Um, I would also believe that in educational aspect, it will not be the same as how it used to be in primary school. There must be some changes. Therefore, I completed a few mathematics and science exercises to strengthen my basic knowledge. I was very afraid of not getting a clue at all in the classes.
I see, that's interesting. So, moving on to the next question. So, according to Arumugam 2021, she mentioned that bullying among students at boarding schools around the country in Malaysia must be stopped. So, have you ever encountered such cases or heard from your seniors, juniors, or friends about it?
Um, as for myself, I never have been bullied. My seniors were very accepting of me and they were really outgoing, that I did not have any problems as a junior. I pity the juniors below me now because I cannot act like the seniors that I respected. However, I have heard from my male friends that they are constantly bullied to forcefully wash and iron their seniors' clothes. If they are not obliged, they would be punished like getting hit or kicked.
Hmm. Okay, for the fourth question, do you have your own slang that only boarding school students can understand?
Yes, absolutely. For example, Sodom is used for select the cat dorm, where students won't pray at the mosque but at their dorm. It used to be forbidden. However, since COVID-19 happens, we are allowed to do it in some situations. Um, Next, after. The word after is said for everything that are used by a lot of the students. It's like a cue by verbally. For instance, washing machine usage, or even there is only a pen to fill the form for multiple people. You can just say na after. So it's just simple like that. And then chop up. Chop up is cari publicity. This one is not a good slang. If a person does something out of the ordinary only for attention, we call them chop up. We also use some slangs to shorten the name of something. It might be sports or anything. For example, bola tampa becomes botam and bola jaring becomes boja. Preparation class also known be prep. Along with that, Dewan Makan is shortened only to DM. They are much easier to say. And some specific slangs used in my school is the name of the batches. We have long names to pronounce it simpler. Wahdatul Fikrah becomes Wafiq, Usratul Najah becomes Usna, and Ashabul Akhirah becomes Asrah.
Hmm. Interesting.
I see that your batch, a lot of your batch names are quite Islamic. That's good, I think. And yeah, alright. So our next question is that are the students there very competitive? Because people tend to categorize boarding school students as competitive and workaholic.
Based on my perception, I don't think they appear competitive, but maybe they compete in silence. As for me, I want to surpass my excellent friends because I want to get good grades along with them. I always put my diligent friends as my motivation. For example, during my preparation class, if my table mates are revising a certain subject, I will be influenced to study that particular subject too. As for extracurricular activities, there might be some occasions where the students must compete before being the final participants. Our school has the housing system where students need to get merits or marks for their houses. So in the end of the year, there will be a ceremony where the house that get the most marks wins and gets a trophy. And if a student misbehaves in a certain ways, like they do not wear name tags or in a shirt, their merit will be deducted. Thus, this will encourage students to behave properly, along with to get higher marks for their own houses.
Okay, so move on to the next question. Can you tell us about an accomplishment that has made you feel especially proud? Or maybe do you get proper support from the school on your passion?
Yes, I succeeded in getting the first place in my batch in my junior year. Even though that year was a roller coaster, really, really a roller coaster year. So I also participated in an innovation competition named Mayo with my classmates in April 2021. We did really well and got the gold medals. That month was very hectic because we have to attend the exam simultaneously, but our supervising teachers helped us a lot. Our school also provided the budget for the project too.
Right? So our next question is that so according to Asmawi Muhammad 2020, fully residential boarding school provides both instruction and a well-planned, supervised and nourishing educational environment in order to mold children into responsible and balanced individuals that are capable of contributing to the community and nation. So, could you share a bit of your everyday routine?
In the morning, I woke up at 5 to 5:30 a.m. and I showered. If the toilets are packed, I will finish my other businesses first, such as ironing my school attires or pack my school bag. After all of that, I will do my cleaning duty in the dorm along with my dorm mates. It might be sweeping the floor, tying the curtains, and throwing the rubbish out. Only after then, I will go to the mosque for Subuh prayer and have my breakfast before going to school. My school starts at 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. For lunch break. The afternoon session begins at 2 p.m. and finishes at 4 p.m. The students are free for their own activities that evening until 7 p.m., where the students must gather at the mosque and prepare for Maghrib's prayer, followed by preparation class at 8 p.m. Until 10 p.m. We have to pray Isha too and can only eat supper after that. When I enter my dorm at 10:30 p.m., we can get prepared for sleep, but when the clock strikes 11 p.m., we must recite Al-Mulk and other prayers before sleeping. Everything is exactly the same except the weekends.
See, it's so different with local school, I think. So my next question is, according to Tidal 2021, seniority is a well-known tradition that has devolved into senior violence against junior in the form of bullying. So what are your thoughts on seniority that happens in your school?
I don't know how to exactly define the seniority concept in our school, but I will list some of the occurrences. First, the washing machine is divided into upper and lower form usage. Um, the position of students in the mosque was also divided by the range of the batch there. For example, usually Form 5 students would take the front row of the staff and at the back of the mosque, the most comfortable place to rest, like chatting or folding telekong, as that spot is the biggest one for students compared with other juniors. If some of the juniors rest or sit at that particular spot even for a while, they will receive angry and unsatisfied glances from seniors. Moreover, us juniors must give salam to seniors if we are walking past them. We would constantly be reminded if we do not give salam to them as if it was the wrong thing. In addition, we also need to call our seniors with kak for girls and abang for the boys as a sign of respect. Once, there was even a roll call that mentioned how it was very rude for us not to call them by that term. Um, I will also say some situations are convenient for both parties, but for some situations too, the seniority concept only benefits the seniors. We are living in the same hostel and we will go through the same things sooner or later. So why can't we be considerate of each other? So I hope that everyone will get to live equally and peacefully at the boarding school.
Hmm.
True, I agree. So the next question is that, according to Carlson 2021, he mentioned that teen friendships are extremely essential to our children, and in a boarding school setting, they are practically the only thing that they have. So what kind of people that you found and befriended there?
I found numerous types of people. Some are very dirty and lazy, while some are noisy or even a quiet person. I befriended the ones who have the common likes as me, such as hip hop or K dramas. However, I click with the students who have the same humor so that we can joke around comfortably too. Most of the time, I stick with my classmates as we have been together since Form 1 until Form 3. We just purely know each other and become friends. I also refuse to involve myself with naughty and rebellious students. I don't want to get influenced by them in a bad way, but we maintain our good relationship merely as acquaintances. Sometimes I approach top students to study with them and add to my knowledge. I learn a lot from them.
Wow.
Hmm. Okay, so the last question is, you still study at the school. So can you tell us a little bit about your current school life, or what do you like about it, and what will you change?
I will answer this question as what I recall in November because I am in online classes now. The current situation is the students of different batches don't really get along well because they lack the time spent together. Because of COVID-19, it can get kind of awkward sometimes. There is nothing particular to that. The things that I like about my school might be the synergy of the students. Moreover, during the sports day, the activities that we do in the mosque, such as lawat and praying together. I specifically like the evening where most of the students are exercising all together. The students would be scattering all on the field, like everywhere have even one student. I would change the rules where students are prohibited to bring any gadgets. I know gadgets can raise a lot of problems, but most of the things that we need to do at school now require gadgets. The computers provided are not enough and are not convenient for us to travel back from the dorm and to the middle of the school. I also want to suggest that after system needs some changes. Instead of verbally saying after, the school should supply whiteboards or other alternative to write the queue down so that there will be no cutting of the queue. Other than that, everything is great. I enjoy being in that school.
Alright, thank you for sharing your knowledge about boarding school culture with us. I think that is all from us. So
So,
thank you and have a
mm,
nice day.
thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.